I was watching an Antiques Roadshow, and this woman had a letter signed by John Kennedy. She said that back around 1960 she was in high school and she was running for student council. She had great admiration for Kennedy, who was a candidate for the U.S. presidency at that time. She wrote him a letter asking him if he had any advice for her. Rather amazingly, her letter reached him, and he took the time to answer, producing the very letter she had brought into the show that day. "What advice did he have for you?" the woman was asked, and I particularly noted and still remember her reply. "He told me to find out what the students wanted," she said, "and give it to them." "And did that help you win the election?" she was asked. "Yes," she said, "I won." The advice struck me because it seemed to me to be a perfect summation of the standard Democratic Party platform. In general, and in spite of Kennedy's "ask not what your country can do for you," the Democrats find out what the people want and they give it to them, what are called entitlements, which were once called bread and circuses. This is powerful stuff because it allows the Democrats to position themselves as the party that cares about the people, as opposed to the Republicans, who only seek to enrich themselves, other people be damned. The Democrats will offer free health care for indigents, food stamps for the needy, housing for those who can't afford to buy a home or pay rent. They will provide refuge for immigrants. They are the caring party. Their candidates fairly ache with caring and charity and love. "I feel your pain," Bill Clinton used to say. De Tocqueville wrote that poor people would always run the country. The greatest number of people would be poor, and as a result of this, by majority rule, the government would always be broke. The elected Democrats, most of whom are personally wealthy, and who send their children to private schools, who in short are the complete opposite of their constituents, consider Kennedy for starters. The Democrats play into this scheme with consummate flair and to great success, as de Tocqueville predicted. I was dismayed when I heard Kennedy's advice, particularly because I could still hear the "ask not what your country can do for you" speech, which he cribbed from his old Choate headmaster, but in any event, his advice, however practical, however successful, doesn't sound like the voice of true leadership to me. Find out what your students want and give it to them. As far as I can discern, that is the definition of pandering, and pandering, while it may be a great way to get elected, is no way to run a country. Of course, it's why we are $20 trillion in debt. One more note on the Democrats. They are the party of hope as well as charity. They are constantly beating the drum of hope. Kennedy, Clinton, Barack Obama, they are all masterful purveyors of hope. Hell, part of the entire Clinton mythos was that he was born in Hope, Arkansas. Obama wrote a book about hope. And hope is a wonderful thing to offer to people. It almost turns you into a religious figure, at the least a spiritual guide. Hope is a marvelous thing. I think it would be very difficult to live without it. It's one of the heavenly virtues, faith, hope, and charity. But while it's important to have hope in your life, it's dangerous and even irresponsible to live off hope alone. If you're in business and your chief asset is hope, you're not going to be in business for long, not in a solvent way. If you're competing in sports and you're banking on hope to get you the winning score, chances are very good that you're going to lose. We have embraced the goodness, the decency, the fundamental humanity, the encompassing brotherhood, the big tent of the Democratic Party, while at the same time we have clung to hope, and it does not take an expert to see where this has gotten us. I foresee a future with more debt and more hope and complete ruin, which will probably be laid at the feet of those despicable, heartless, ruthless Republicans.